Georgia number 1, MSU in the top 4.
Right.
I don't like if you put them at 2, 3, 4 because of whatever. Fine, they're undefeated and they beat a top 10 team. Top 4, 3 is a fine spot. Okay, those are the 2 easy ones out of the way.
So obviously, right. So Georgia's number 1, Alabama number 2, Michigan State number 3. Oregon number 4, Ohio State number 5, and Cincinnati, despite being AP number 2, is ranked number 6. Griff, who do you think right now? And I want to ask you 2 questions, and I'm going to answer the same 2 questions. Who do you think was got the biggest snub from the rankings right now? And I want to go back into I'm going to dig back into the top 10. So you got Michigan number 7, Oklahoma number 8, Wake Forest number 9, and Notre Dame number 10.
So, like, if I'm being honest, the
Who got the biggest snub?
I probably would say, like, there's not a lot, but it would probably be Cincinnati. Either them or Oklahoma, but here's the thing. So Oklahoma, I understand why at the very least they're not in the top 4.
Right.
Because their wins have been against not great teams, and they've been some shaky, close wins at that. Mm-hmm. But Oklahoma can 100% get in if they beat Baylor and they beat Okie State. That's all you got to do. Okay. And if they do that, they're probably in, especially because we know either Ohio State or Michigan State has to lose at least one more time. Like, one of those teams has to lose. Oregon can get beat. Bama very well could have 2 losses. Mm-hmm. So, like, Oklahoma can control their own destiny here. Yeah. So I'm not really viewing them as a snub because, again, I just think it's because of where we're at in the schedule. They still have their prove-it games ahead of them. But from what they've shown so far, it just hasn't been great.
So,
and then Wake Forest is – I don't know how – like, I get it. You're undefeated, but, like,
they haven't played anyone.
It's very clear. The college football playoff the committee is basing their selection off 2 major things, and I think that is quality of wins and how good they think you are.
They will play one ranked team if North Carolina State remains ranked. Now, they played.
That's Wake Forest.
Here's who they play. This is Wake Forest schedule. They played Old Dominion. Okay, Old Dominion is an FCS school. Yeah. They played Norfolk State, who is also an FCS school. They played Florida State. Yep. How do you play? You can't play 2 FCS schools in a season and expect to get respect. They played Florida
Wake Forest,
State, Virginia.
I think, is the easiest.
They played Louisville. They played Syracuse. They played Army. They played Duke. They play North Carolina this week. And then next week they play North Carolina State, who's number 19. North Carolina State, though, has, I don't know. I mean, the only game they lost, I guess they lost to Mississippi State and Miami. I don't know if they deserve to be ranked either. But that's the thing. Like, Wake Forest hasn't played anyone, and they don't play anyone. So, they kind of already not, like, they could win every game, and it wouldn't matter. At this point, it just wouldn't matter. They would. I'd top out. Their ceiling is number 7, straight up.
And here's the thing. I think, based on what we've seen here, the committee is saying you're not getting in Cincy.
No.
And whether that's right or wrong, I mean, basically, if you're telling me, hey, would you rather see Oregon or Cincy versus Georgia? I'm going to say Oregon.
So
and the same thing goes for Ohio State.
You want to know
over
a
Cincy.
secret?
I'm going to say
here's my hot take. Cincinnati's too high. That's my hot take. Cincinnati's way too high. Like, I'm sorry, they shouldn't be 6. Like, and a lot of people are going to
Cincinnati. Should Michigan be above
Michigan
Cincinnati?
should be 6. And well,
should
actually,
Oklahoma
no.
be above Cincinnati?
No, I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm sorry. I misspoke. You know who should be? Oklahoma should be 6, and Cincy should be 8. I don't know. And again, I think Michigan's fine. Like, I really do. I think Michigan's placement's fine.
I think 7's a good number.
I think 7's fine for them. I think that Cincinnati's
that
too
number
high.
Tells me everything.
And
yeah, you lost to Michigan State, but it was like a good loss because
right.
the team is good. They're undefeated,
right.
And they're in the top 3. So clearly they value that they valued that game.
Right.
They valued both sides of it. Like they valued the fact that Michigan State beat Michigan because Michigan looked good. They valued that Michigan barely lost. You know, it's a 4-point loss, right? I would consider that a close loss, right? You were within. They had a chance to go down and score at the end of the game, and they threw a pick.
Right.
It's like they were in it till the end, and so clearly they valued both of that. And I think that 7 shows that, like, hey, you go 11-1 and beat Ohio State. Because here's the thing. They jump Cincinnati if they beat Ohio State. So boom. And so at the very end, by beating Ohio State, they would jump them. So by that alone, they're up to 5.
Right.
Like, and I think Michigan and Michigan State beat Penn State fairly easily because I think James Franklin has given up. So it's like, and I think if it comes down to like Oregon, or Michigan, I think they pick Michigan. Even I think purely because of beating Ohio State, although Oregon also has that win. So that's like the hard part is. Although here's what I think could happen. Like like if Michigan beats Ohio State, and let's say MSU gets in for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like and. I think Georgia's going to beat Bama in the SEC title game. It could totally be Georgia, Michigan State, Oregon, and Michigan. Which, what a fucking weird playoff that is.
I think that a 2-loss Alabama team could get in, and I don't think that you would like that at all. But I think they like, could.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
They would have
I
to
just
rely
hate it.
a lot on other teams. Like I think that if you see,
I think that would mean Oklahoma lost
can't
a
go
game.
undefeated for Alabama to get in with 2 losses. Like that just can't happen.
Same thing with like Michigan. Like
and,
there will be one Big Ten school. It's either going to be Ohio State or Michigan State.
Two if there's a 3-way tie. But
11-1 Michigan, and then whoever the Big Ten champ is.
And Ohio State would have they'd be 10-2.
They wouldn't go.
So who do you think is too high?
Oregon, probably. Oregon has to.
You're not like everyone else, and you
think
Alabama.
So I've kind of reversed course, and I know we had talked about it earlier, where I said, "Hey, they lost.
And
why
I tried
are they so
convincing
high?
you, I don't think that,
And I just thought, hey, a loss should mean something.
Yeah.
But one, clearly the committee is showing they don't mind that as much, and I think they view the fact that Alabama has ranked wins, which I think they value, and I think they're viewing it in the metric of, and you made this point earlier, and I'll be honest, I was stubborn, but right. I think you were right. If Alabama and Michigan State went against each other today,
Alabama absolutely wins.
We'd both say Bama.
Yeah. And I mean, it's about getting the best teams in the playoff. And I think if that's the goal, then Alabama's a one-loss Alabama team is absolutely number 2.
I agree with you.
I don't think that I think that it's different conceptually from the AP rankings in that context, because we've been used to the AP rankings for so long, and that's what they have done. They've valued wins and losses almost equally, whereas the college football playoff rankings value wins a little bit more. I think that's more important, and head-to-head is a very big...
It's not just how many wins, it's quality.
And that's the thing.
That's what they meant.
And
which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I think, my thing is, man, Bama being a 2-loss team and getting in, it really depends on the other teams and where they're at. I think if you have, let's say, an undefeated Oklahoma, and then you have your Big Ten champion... And let's say Oregon doesn't lose another game. I think you whether it's Ohio State or Michigan State for the Big Ten. So you have Ohio State or Michigan State. That's one slot. You obviously have Georgia if they beat Alabama. That's a no doubter. And then it's Oklahoma if they go undefeated, and if Oregon wins out, you have to put those teams in. I think at that point, just Alabama doesn't have a spot. But I think if any of those teams falter, I think Bama will get the slot in there, which is totally possible.
So
I just can't see a conference champion not getting in, a 1-loss conference champion not getting in over a 2-loss Bama team, even if it's a close game. It's